Thank you both for putting your pronouns in. Appreciate that.
I have to do that every time I enter a meeting. Is there a way to just have it as their setting?
Yes, if you have a the Zoom application downloaded
Okay.
into your computer or laptop, you can just go into the what is it? I have to do the same thing too. You can go into your profile and include
Okay.
it. Yeah, and it'll save
All
it.
right. I'll look there. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I think the three of us are on the same boat. I need to do that as well. Mhm. So let us take a moment, dear friends, to settle in and taking this time to check in with the body, noticing how the body feels like today, and if there's a certain way to stretch or move or to bend that will allow the body to further settle and relax and soften the stiffness, the tightness, the tension. And noticing where you normally hold tension. Is it in the shoulders, neck, the back? And seeing what posture would be most supportive for today's practice. And getting curious if there's any modification you might need to make to add another cushion, a blanket. Sometimes adding a pillow where your hands can rest on can be supportive to take some of the weight off the neck and shoulders. And as we settle into the uprightness of our posture, take a moment to set this intention, the intention to be still, the intention to be in the present moment, and to recall what motivates you to come to practice. And whether that's a thought or a feeling or an energy that you experience deep within, letting that energy or thought carry you into your sitting. And let us begin with intentional breaths, breathing in, and know that you're breathing in, breathing out. Know that you're breathing out. And maybe for this time now, or for the entire duration of the sit, you're choosing to breathe in such a way that is supportive and nourishing, bringing in that healthy breath, that is deep and long. And let the breath be full and alive in the body. And turning all the sense doors inwards, turning towards the breath and the breath in the body. Notice what it feels like to be aware of breathing. Notice the movement of the breath. Maybe you can hear the sound of the breath. Notice sensations that accompanies breathing, or perhaps sensations throughout the entire body, anywhere that it's felt. And letting the awareness of sounds point you back into the present moment experience. Letting the anchors help you arrive and deepen into stillness. turning towards the breath in the body. Give rise to this attitude of curiosity and interest for what is here now, what is happening as you remain still. As you practice staying in touch with the breath and to the experience that has you know you are here. Experiencing the nowness of this moment. And is there a possibility to let go of any way in which you normally hold up your posture? Just letting the soft animal of your body come to rest. Awareness is waking up to the default patterns of mind. waking up to the unconscious. And in that moment, when awareness becomes aware, there is choice. There is choosing to be aware of what is here now, setting down the past, setting down the future. Awareness resting in the present moment. Awareness resting in the stillness of the breath. Resting in that space between thoughts. each moment, delicately balancing effort with concentration, just like tuning an instrument to produce a fine sound, not too tight and not too loose. Notice if your mind is getting too laxed, or if there is too much energy and agitation in staying focused. Inviting equanimity, inviting this soothing and calming energy, or increasing energy by breathing a little bit harder. And allow yourself to come back to balance. What also might be supportive is to choose an object of meditation. So, resting your attention in an area where the breath is most predominant and increasing alertness and sensitivity to the breath in this area of the body, and letting that be your home base. Or you may choose any other anchor that feels supportive and alive for you. sound of the bell marks the completion of our 30 minutes of sitting, and you're welcome to continue sitting if you'd like. Today, I want to offer to you this word that when we are fully in the present moment of life, of our experiences, we are trusting that this moment is okay and it's all right to be here. We're trusting in the universe. We're trusting in this abiding law that we no longer need to control or manipulate. And so we develop this deep trust, even within ourselves. And the other word that is also used in place of the word trust is faith. And faith is a quality that embodies this spiritual wealth that we have. To have faith. To have faith and trust in what has been taught. To place our heart upon something. And to place our heart into what we normally might fear or resist. And this trust is the antidote for doubt, for fear. And in our society today, boy, are we ridden with fear and with doubt. We question, and it's one thing that we question something, but when we let doubts stop us or fear stop us from undertaking a practice or to investigate into a truth, a teaching, how pervasive it is. That is, it has us no longer even trust ourselves and our own ability to arrive at an understanding of a matter, of a teaching. And so, as we practice meditation, we are cultivating this quality of trust to fully be here. We let go of our fears. We let go of the doubts that color the mind, doubting in ourselves, doubting that this would work for me, doubting the teachings and the practices that has worked for individuals for over 2,600 years. Doubting that there could be someone so awake like the Buddha and all the awakened ones in history. And so as we practice, we dissolve that doubt and we come to trust in ourselves. We trust that it's possible for us to awaken to realize the true nature of life, of suffering, and of ourselves. And so this characteristic naturally arise and deepen this well of trust, of faith, becomes a part of the way we wear our heart, the way that our heart lean into things even when it feels uncertain and unknown. There is this inclination to trust. And as a result of trusting in ourselves, trusting in the practice and the teaching, we begin to see the results of trusting. And as we begin to see the good results, we have greater and greater confidence. And that confidence grows within us. And we ourselves become someone who is confident about ourselves, our lives. And we also have this courage to face whatever comes our way, trusting and with faith that things will be all right. Things will work itself out, or things will happen in the way that they happen, but it's all a part of being human. It's a part of this human experience. And that's that kind of confidence and courage that comes from deep within. It's not this motivational talk that someone gives us or this prep talk that has us pumped up for the moment. But it's rather this ongoing, abiding feeling, knowing, and confident that all is all right, confident to keep going, to take that next step, to take that next breath with full awareness. And inside of that faith, we also are cultivating patience. Right? To have faith, we are not trying to force anything. We allow, we rest back into our being, and we let things unfold. Without the need to manipulate or control. So that too also has us develop patience for ourselves as we are on this path. And maybe at times we feel like we've taken some steps backward, or maybe we think that we have a sort of regression in our spiritual endeavor. But we step back and allow and trust the process of awakening. We step back from our conditioning. We step back from clinging on to the past. We step back from trying to control the outcome and make some sort of future happen now. And we step back to allow, to trust that the natural law is at play. And with this trust, there's an energy that comes with this too. The energy to endure, the energy to be with the difficulties, the challenges, the energy to continue to be in that space of looking and curious. That willingness to keep going despite not knowing. And that trust or faith allows us to relax. Relax into the present moment experience, relax into our body, into our being. And the more we relax and allow and trust in the process and the practices, the more we reap the benefits, the more we come to see. And faith becomes not something that someone tells us to do or believe in. It is not a blind faith, but it becomes this lived experience that we know for ourselves, having felt it in the body, having seen it, having touched into it. And that faith in the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, becomes a part of our faith-based practices. Faith in the teachings grow, and faith in those guiding us. We lean into them and we surrender out of that faith that we feel deep within. So I invite you into this reflection. Where do you struggle with trusting yourself? Or where do you find that those moments where doubt and fear dissipate, that there is this way you're being held by trust? Do you see the connection between these qualities that are part of the 10 paramis, the qualities of perfection? Faith, patience, and how it ties to wisdom, how it ties to energy. These are all qualities of the 10 paramis. And so they're so interconnected that as we give rise to one quality, the other qualities also emerge and deepen and strengthen within us. And I'll put the qualities in the chat so you can see them. So the 10 paramis or perfections include generosity, morality, which is also known as the precepts, or in the Plum Village tradition, it's called the 5 mindfulness practices. Renunciation, which, as you hear me refer to renunciation as letting go. Okay. Wisdom, energy, which is also synonym to effort, patience, which also means endurance or tolerance, truthfulness, and then resolution, which is this kind of determination. I use the word determination, loving kindness, and then equanimity. And so, anytime we have doubt in ourselves or doubt in someone, we can note how in doubt and fear we lack trust. And anytime there isn't this foundation of trust, whether it's in a relationship or in ourselves or in some projects, things lose that quality of stability. It's off balance. And how important that aspect is, and to unpack our fear, unpack what has us not believe in that person or ourselves, or that that's possible. And we can see perhaps some patterns or conditioning or beliefs we have that could be there, that could be already there or conditioned by the past. And these conditions are ingrained in us, and it will show up in our practice, in our relationship to our practice as well. So as we work to unpack this and carefully see this in our daily lives, we will see how it parallels to our path of practice. It's like when we get to that door where insight arises, we knock ourselves out because there's a hint of disbelief. There may be a hint of doubt or maybe fear. Fear because it's so out of the realm of what we've known or what we're familiar with. It could be that example of like, this is too good to be true, so there's gotta be something wrong here. And we're looking for what's wrong. We're trying to dig up something negative that prevents our heart from opening up and giving into that which is in the ultimate, the absolute. The presence and the beauty that's there. And in trusting, it doesn't mean that things always go perfectly, but it's a quality that we develop, that even when we trust and have faith, when things fall apart, we also allow, and include that inside of this wider capacity to hold all experiences with this level of tolerance, such as sometimes we trust and then something goes south and we say to ourselves, see, I shouldn't have trust. I shouldn't have believed in that. But trusting isn't for some sort of results to be on the other end. But trusting encompasses all of what could occur on the other side of trusting. Trusting that if there's a breakdown, that it's still part of this big, larger container of the universal law at play, of nature taking its course, of another human being having their stuff that they have to work through. So we don't. The conditions of trust doesn't change because there was some results that we were hoping to have happen because we trust. Trust is not contingent upon something or someone or some outcome, but it's this heart's willingness to stay open, this unshakable confidence that all will be all right. Trusting in the universal law, trusting in the human experience. So this is the kind of trust I'm talking about, which is larger than those transactional trusts that we have. And it holds no expectations. It is forever, always letting go, which means not holding on to something. It is a giving up, a loosening of the grip to something inside of that trust, inside of having faith of this larger picture of life. We have faith in our sense of being, faith in our sense of being in the world, faith in the forward movement of life. And this, dear friends, is the right view. What's coming up for you as you hear this teaching? Where do you see yourself leaning in or leaning back?
Hey, this is Rochelle.
Good morning, Michelle.
I just wanted to thank you so much. This has been so helpful. It's exactly where I'm at with some things right now. With another person, family member that um I'm having some real fear and different things over things going on in my daughter's life. And I've been to this place before and I don't really feel like I want to be back in it, and it's not benefiting anyone. And your talk this morning has really helped me a lot. I know a lot of it is just that the control and the wanting things to be different and trying to give advice of how, possibly different choices could benefit her life differently really comes back to me and all my fear of not wanting to feel pain and things don't go a certain way. And so I've really been trying to sit with it, and a lot's been coming up for me that's been really helpful and releasing. Um, I just get so stuck, so stuck. And it basically sometimes just, I just know it's not a great thing to put into the universe at all, worry and fear. And I know we all have it, but especially for her. And just when you were talking, something came to me where I just thought, even talking to her in a where I think is a kind way and saying, you know, the way that I feel could bring her more peace. It's like it's just not doesn't feel right still. And so you talking today, just the faith and just releasing it all and however it's going to turn out is I just need to I feel like if I was more supportive and just more positive instead of just trying to get my way in there of how it should be so I don't have to feel pain if it doesn't turn out right. I have no control over whether it turns out right or not in anything in the universe. So this whole thing has just been really helpful. I think with our children, it's you want to protect them and they're adults and just not my place. And I don't want to be in this place. And I don't feel like she's getting the love and support she needs from me because I'm not knowing how. And so you talking just really made me think how different it could be if I just really did offer just acceptance and love and support and faith in her choices. It could just feel so much more peaceful. So I really appreciate your talk today, Trina. It's helped me a lot. Thank you so much. If you have any other advice, just sitting every day is really and listening and um, it's bringing a lot to my mind and bringing peace. So I want to be. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, thank you, Michelle, for sharing so openly. And sounds like you have the right movement forward in your seeing. Yeah. And although I'm not a parent, but I have 10 nieces and nephew, and I witnessed the lives of my siblings and friends who have kids. And, being a parent is one of the greatest tests of trust. It's like when your child is away from you, not close by, there is this kind of trust we have to develop with the universe, with the world, that they're going to be okay, right? And it really is something to also even trust in them. Trust that we've taught them well. Trust that we've done everything we could. And whatever happens is, like you said, beyond our control. It's really the biggest test of trust and faith as a parent. And trusting, as Rochelle says, is that is that quality that will set us free, that will have us be at peace at last.
One thing that comes to mind for me, strangely, I was thinking about this last night, was faith versus trust. And I think for me, the context of faith was sort of a, you either have it or you don't. Whereas with trust, you can grow it and you can build it. And I thought about this with my meditation practice. And you hear you hear about maybe where it can help and where it can take you and what it can do, and then you try it, and there's this tiny little bit of progress that you get, and that helps build the trust. And but in thinking about trust, I think it's also, for me, I appreciate that. I think when I trust, there's kind of an open curiosity that goes with it. And so when something doesn't happen the way I was expecting it to, I try not to dishearten, but I try to look a little more deeply, and uh, that helps me sort of find my way through it, through a difficulty. And Rochelle, my heart's with you, because it's hard to be in the midst of uh, kind of a responsible position as a parent or as a grandparent for me. And and it's hard to kind of relax into that kind of calm curiosity of, okay, well, maybe I need to look at this in a different way. So I don't know if that helps at all, but that's kind of how I appreciate kind of the curiosity part of trusting.
Thank you, Rob. Mhm. When we look deeply at this push and pull of trust and having faith in something, particularly with the ones we love and their actions, their choices, it's rooted in love. It's rooted in this care, this way in which we want to protect and care for others, for our children, grandchildren, our loved ones. And then when we ask ourselves, what is what does true love look like? How would true love be? True love allows, true love let the other person be exactly the way they are. And we know then that, all of our attempts, we don't need to make our attempts wrong, but to know that we've been holding on this kind of love that is like gripping and attached. And now to this kind of love that's more free flowing and open. And the love that allows one to be oneself, to move and act freely. And inside of that true love, we let ourselves also rest back into trusting things, trusting them, trusting in all of how life goes. Trusting in the goodness. And that's the loving kindness practice. And equanimity is, I can be at peace even when things are not going my way. So it doesn't mean that we just are neutral, but we could still not like something, but we are at peace inside of the way in which our preferences are not met. We can still be held underneath that by this peace, this groundedness. That's equanimity. Anyone else have anything you'd like to share, reflect?
That was absolutely, that was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I wish I could take that and put it in my head and remember it every second of the day. Um, but that's why I'm here. And that was really touching to hear your Dharma today and to hear others share um their own stories. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Good morning.
Good morning, Francis.
I heard you say trusting that the other person is okay as they are and to be okay with that. That's the way I heard that. That's so important for me to hear. And then I thought about, we say the universe is always in order. So trust that everything is in order, even though it may not appear to be in order. That's a big one for me. And yet I hear it a lot. But what we hear and what we practice and what we believe, they are different, until we get them to be closer together, right? Lips will say a lot of things, but the heart is where the action is. And the believing is to trust that it will work out in your favor, even though it doesn't appear to be in your favor. That's a big step. But that is faith, pulling from the invisible to the visible. That's what faith is. So I will continue to work on that. And thank you for such great way of saying it this morning. Because I guess for me, it is to believe that the person is okay the way they are. It's not up to me to try to have them do what I want them to do, or say what I want them to say, or ask me to go to a big function that I have not been asked to go to. So it's those type things, if I can just accept it as is, that would be a big blessing in my life. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for sharing that, Francis. Mhm. Your words resonate with all of us. So, mhm, mhm. I will upload this talk to the YouTube channel Wake Up Together Now. So you can go on there and listen to it again, and perhaps subscribe to the channel. So sometimes I will select certain talks in the morning to upload, and particularly if there's something really sensitive or raw and a lot of identity is there, I will also request from individuals who've shared very vulnerably to make sure that you feel safe. But in general, if someone wants to remain anonymous, you can go off camera or even change your name. I think that by sharing these to others, it will support everyone's journey in this journey of waking up, and not just in my teaching, but also in your reflection. It deepens that for the listeners and becomes relatable and on the court for us. And so feel free to reach out to me too if you have some feedback or input around this. But in the future, I hope to be able to just share the recording, the audio version of this, maybe through a podcast or something, so we only hear the voices of one another. But thank you for your presence and your energy in this conversation as we continue to unpack and realize the truth within ourselves, what that which we have known as concepts, as ideas, can be understood with practice and through contemplation and reflection. And when we experience this knowing deep within, it becomes our own. It becomes a part of our being. The thread of who we are is trust, is faith, is this knowing. And so thank you for being here, for being in community, for trusting in me too as a person holding and facilitating this space. So thank you for that. And I only exist because you trust. So thank you. And I wish you well on the journey of this day as we continue to shed light on all those parts within us of fear, of doubt, of trust, of faith, of love. And may you be well, bowing to the awakened nature, the divine love within you. Take care, dear friends. Please be well. And welcome, Jemiah. Good to see you here. And iPhone, whoever that is. Take care. Ready for a blast off? 3, 2, 1.